It's something that I see a lot when it comes to money, because money's a really complex area as well, and there's so much information out there that they're overloaded. People know that the decisions are really important that they're making. They want to make the right one. They don't want to stuff it up. And then they end up, we talk to people, they think about doing stuff, then life gets in the way, and then they're missing opportunities to actually be getting results and outcomes. And then it just ends up, then we have a conversation 3 months later, 6 months later, 12 months later, and they're still in the same sort of position. So what's the key there? How can people, when they're, trying to focus on something important like money, for example, to actually cut through and but I suppose figure out what they need to do to take action?
I think you've hit on a really important point there, where you say that we don't want to stuff it up, and it's important and it's big. So one of the things I talk about in ARC is the meaning that we give to events and the meaning we give to activities, that sometimes we're doing things because they have a big meaning for us, but they might not really deliver big results. So it could be that we're fearful of making the wrong mistake, and so we attach a heap of meaning to something that in fact might simply need to be a decision and follow the next steps of decisions. I tell the story of Ruth, a friend of mine who had to buy a car, and this was during COVID lockdown, so it was pretty tough anyway to be able to buy anything, even a bunch of grapes at the supermarket. But she just went through all the steps and really took a kind of open, grown-up approach, I guess, to buying a car, and just took each next subsequent step and got through that tricky process on her own. Versus, some of the other tricky stuff that she's worked with. One was having to write her will for, the family trust and the family's, finances, I guess, entrusted to her. So the meaning connected to that was way bigger. It meant so much more. It held so much more responsibility. And of course, the one she got overwhelmed with was not the car, but the will. And in terms of the time commitment, and the cost, they're quite different, but it just goes to show the meaning that we attach to things can often contribute to our emotional response to them.
Right, and so you think applying that to money, because it is a really common challenge. What would be your advice for someone that was, really struggling with making some big decisions, maybe an investing decision or property or something like that, to actually cut through that and make it happen?
Yeah, well, the idea of dealing with overwhelm, if you're overwhelmed with information or overwhelmed with the emotion, is to use a technique called sense making, which is to externalize our thoughts out of our head. So instead of everything buzzing around here at 3 a.m. when we're trying to sleep, or first thing in the morning, or late in Friday night, is to take notes, write things down, sketch something out on a piece of paper. It's to externalize your thoughts. I was just doing it before with a waffle of stuff that was on my mind. And as soon as I got it out there, the brain is released of this pressure. And I was able to look at certain things on that page and circle them or square them out and go, they're the important bits. Now my brain can make sense of this information. So this is a deliberate technique called sense making and externalizing information. Get it out of your head, get the information in front of you, compare the columns of information, sit down at the table, spread the information out. So it's get the information out and in front of you.
Right. It's I think that people can learn a lot with that when it comes to their money, because it's I think that, one, what's important, but two, like, where is the risk? And sometimes we tell ourselves stories and it's maybe not a complete story or not all of the facts. So there you go, guys, for anyone sort of following along, write it down, figure out what's important and what's not, what's real, and then that gives you a starting point.